Okie dokie. Hello guys, welcome back. Hope we're all looking and feeling good today. Getting towards the end, we're pretty much in the end game of Final Fantasy 16 now, so we were just about to hit what I remember to be the final dungeon. And then to my memory after that, it's the final side quest, Bog, with the final fight just kind of being there whenever I choose to do it, basically. Yeah, I'm okay. Had a job interview yesterday. I'm over in Mangawhai. Hopefully, we'll see. I'll hear back from them in a day or two. That went okay. But otherwise, yeah, very lazy day. Had trouble getting up, to be honest. Had an exhausting stream last night. Just a little challenge I did for myself. Where I sat down, played Medieval 2 beginning to end, and platinum trophied it. Stream was done in about 6 hours. So here we are, back to regular planned content now. So yeah, end game, Final Fantasy 16. Let's see where we wind up today. So yeah, I did a bunch of hunts. I'm pretty sure I got the Ouroboros. If I didn't have the Ouroboros armor last stream, I got it. I mean, the stream before last. Oh god, there wasn't a last week, so I'm losing time.
Covered in
Nicks and lumps, a lot of them. So we'll be starting off with a bang at least in this stream because yeah, we're going straight into a pretty good dungeon as it should be. It's kind of the last one. Okay, yeah, I accidentally did photo mode. Yes, I'll exit photo mode. Yeah, I do the buttons the opposite way. That's how I get to the world map. Yeah, so we're off to go destroy the last crystal at Drake's Spine, me and Joshua. Yeah, so I remember this to be the last dungeon, and then the last main like story thing is like you go in and you do the final fights. There's no dungeon beforehand. It's also when the
What the hell happened here?
DLC content should open up.
I dare not think. A stroke of good fortune, perhaps? I hope you're right. So do I.
Okay, we're set up. Streets of Madness. Okay. And hey, it's times when this game's gorgeous, that's for sure. Nope.
The author has claimed them all. Let's see the win on next.
Straight down indeed. Fuck dude. A fairly sizable arena up ahead. I did that, just felt like it. New builds? Nah, haven't touched it. Just using some aerial juggles that I always really could have done and just haven't really been. Due to having more efficient combos.
That's a behemoth. Who'd be mad enough to tame such a beast?
Stand back. That's what they do. They throw meteorites at you.
Get up. Here it comes. What are we waiting for? Too slow.
Denied. I actually do have one achievement of all of these. Oh, nice Bahamut. Well, we're going to have to charge that up again. Fuck, man! I'm already rusty. That was good. That was good too. I should be able to get the Mega Flare in there. Something significant's gonna happen, so I see he's not losing health. Elliptic Meteor!
No! Stand back! I'll conjure a ward!
Sick Lord Joshua.
Desperate times.
Clive, no!
Trust me. I'm your shield, remember?
Dragon Ball fucking beam struggle.
I think this might be a job for Ifrit!
Why would you Turn to him, brother.
Enemy friendship! Powers, engage!
When we fight together.
That wasn't too bad.
That was just the beginning.
Oh, hello! Almost killed me! Almost killed me again! Well, he is using Maelstrom, which is another behemoth move, and it does reduce you to no health. That's a consistency that this game does choose to have. Monster Hunter ass fuck attack there! Funnily enough, the behemoth was in Monster Hunter World. It's a crossover event. Crossover event for Final Fantasy XIV. I'm just not touching the ground. Alright, he's fucking dropped the Maelstrom again. Ugh. Last trick, does he? Extinction! Oh, I want to get the fuck out of there! I want to get the fuck out of there! Alright, we're good. Alright. Didn't break a sweat.
Quickly, before we're cut off for good.
If it is like the others, the entrance to the inner sanctum will be at the foot of the crystal. We're almost there.
Alright. This fucking Maelstrom cost me a few potions, that's for sure. At least we'll get some more. Is that a nerdy old wizard back there? No. Get burnt! Oh boy, I'm so glad I got all that gil to spend on nothing much. Alright, what's this? Right. Better than most items. What's this? Ooh, potion. Thank you. So max potions again. That's good. Wizards from Fatal Frame. Yeah, those nerdy motherfuckers. Those D20 rolling Mountain Dew sculling motherfuckers. The game never got tired of them, but I sure as hell did. Why you gotta bring up my trauma like that? Oh, he's a nerdy wizard amongst them now. Well, all of that try-hard nerdy shit and you're no match for my magic. Fuck you. Alright. Chad Clive just being like, genetics, motherfucker. Try all you want, I'll always Chad your ass out. No fucking match. I'm a big fat guy who swings a cannon around. Good for you. I'm a fire dominant. Get the fuck out of here.
Once we step onto that bridge, we'll be easy targets.
Then we better move quickly.
Nerd! Fucking nerd. Alright.
Come on then. What are you waiting for?
Motherfucker, right? within. That's the name of that Final Fantasy movie that almost killed Square. Anyone remember that? No? Yep, about right. Yep, moves. You're not worthy of Bahamut though, so just Ramu for you. Yeah, no, back in the like 2000s, the early 2000s, there was a Final Fantasy movie called Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within, released in cinemas and everything. Huge fucking flop. Huge financial loss for Square.
Go to the castle then.
One of the reasons that Squaresoft later merged with Enix and became Square Enix. They kind of had to do that to survive because otherwise the movie pretty much killed them. Yep, that's what happened. It was a disaster. Cost them a lot of fucking money. At the time, it was like, you know, impressive in the CGI wise. Fucking hell, that movie was boring though. Final Fantasy do keep trying to do movies. Yeah, that was its own standalone story. Final Fantasy VII got its first sequel in the form of Advent Children, which was also a bad movie. Obviously, again, the visuals were cool for the time. There were some fun little fight scenes in there, although they were really stupid. Yeah, Final Fantasy 15 was also a bit of a financial failure for Square. It was very ambitious because they wanted 15 to be like a multi-platform kind of thing, like a multimedia franchise. So that had Kingsglaive, which is a movie in the Final Fantasy 15 universe. Oh no, it's an Akashic Curl! I'm gonna fuck you up effortlessly. Wow! Look at my big whiskers! Wow. I know you don't get stuck in any doors. Can you even go through cat doors with those things, bro? Or are they that sensitive? Wow. You were actually the fight. I was half expecting something else to jump in. You were actually the fight. All right. You came after the behemoth. Interesting. Yeah, it was as easy as the other Akashic Curls I've already fought. Robots. Those bloody hides. Check comes. That's it. I see nerds.
Focus, Joshua.
Get incinerated. I don't even know where that wizard was. Josh must have killed him or something. Oh yeah! Going up here, am I? Oh. Here. Oh. I came from there. Oh, yep.
Let's hope this works.
Well, okay. Oh no, not one, but two! And they're Akashic!
Of course there's more. There's always
Oh no! Woohoo! Hey, you hurt my doggy!
too slow.
That's why I didn't finish it off. Boom!
Right, you mustn't summon a fruit. Not yet. So I should let the further force you.
Why would I summon a fruit against these clouds?
Save your strength for another crystal.
That was terrible. Alright, wizard. Here we are.
What must it have eaten to grow so big?
You don't want to know. It's already.
Falcon Punch! Falcon Punch. Very nice.
There's no end to them. The whole bloody army's here. Stand back, Joshua. I'm summoning Ifrit.
Stop, Clive! You mustn't. We still have a long way to go. If you tap your strength here, you'll have none left to destroy the heart.
Then you'd rather die?
It's the Enterprise!
Jill.
Right, Mr. Dragoon.
She's not alone.
Surprised to see us.
How did you?
Gav. He told us exactly where you'd be. Even sniffed out a crack in the castle wall. And when we saw the heavens come crashing down, we had no choice but to believe him. It's been quite a day.
To what do we owe this honor?
A debt I would see repaid.
Prince Dion. It's good to see you well.
So, this must be Ifrit. Your uncle bade me give you a message. Listen to your heart and guide your steel true. Your father would expect no less. That is all.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you.
Gotta love Gav.
For everything, Your Highness.
Dion,
Gav
please.
the reliable.
You do realize the only thing we've freed so far is this wall from its foundations, right? You know, if your lord and ladyship's quite finished.
Well said, Gav. We have work to do.
But don't suppose there's out I can say to make you change your mind. So I'll just tell you to stay safe. Nan won't take kindly to losing her best customer, especially after letting us carry all this stuff all the way to Ash.
And we wouldn't want to anger old Nan.
You mean you'll buy some off us? I've got some good stuff for you.
It's not Ragnarok good. I'll buy a Defender just to see
Thank
if
you.
you can upgrade it and make it better. No. You don't even come close to Ouroboros. Buy it out of curiosity.
Else you need? Righto, here you go.
No, I don't need that shit. Yeah. This is where the good
Thank
shit's
you.
at.
Righto, here you go. All done then?
So I can make a weapon called the Ever Dark, but it's just not as good as the Ragnarok. Ugh. Nah,
You don't want me to make yours out else?
I don't need shit, bruh. I got better.
You see, Clive, we're not alone. If we are to win the day, we must all play our part. And ours. Ours lies beyond those doors.
Yes.
We've fought long and hard for this moment. Sid's dream, our dream, is within our grasp.
We need only endure this final trial, and we shall. Together.
You all know what it is that awaits us beyond this gate. And we shall face it together.
Aye.
Alright. It's like a few Akashic behemoths.
It seems our hosts would rather we remain. I will stay them.
We will stay them. Go!
Just don't keep us waiting.
Thank you.
Welcome, sons of fire.
Then there's Torgal, the goodest boy, just jumping at that portal.
What?
Joshua! Joshua! Wake up!
Clive, is that you? This isn't stone here.
Welcome to our darkness. A rift between worlds wherein your kind might reflect.
Show yourself!
Grave and many are the sins of man. And we would have you know them. All of them. As fate has seen fit to deliver you home, consider this our welcoming gift.
It would seem we are trapped.
Yes, quite.
And the only way out is through Ultima. We find him, and we leave.
Why am I looking for treasure? So ingrained in me from other games.
If you are to comprehend the full extent of your transgressions, we must go back to the beginning.
Exposition time!
When the world was still young, we visited upon it a miracle, magic, and in its light did all life flourish. Yet the price for this boon would prove heavy. A pall descended upon the land, painting the horizon black as night. Though we labored to forestall its spread, in this one endeavor we stood powerless. And so we fled, that we might endure, that we might discover a means of salvation.
But if it was magic that caused the blight, what of the mother crystals?
Walk up these stairs to the next open area.
I expect he'll tell us soon enough.
Welcome to my scripted story hallway, Clive. No, Clive, your sprint action is quite locked here. Curse you, Ultima, is there never an end to your evil?
Salvation, alas, was not readily to be had. First, we would require a land unvisited by the stain of corruption. An unprecedented journey lay before us, one beyond the limits of our fleshly bodies. And so we cast them off. Thus, stripped to our very spirit, did we find our new paradise. A land as pure as driven snow, Valisthea. There would the true work begin. For the black crept yet behind us. And soon did we arrive at a solution. The illness having spread to every organ, there was but one escape from this fate, to start afresh.
With a new world. The one for which Barnabas labored. A paradise free from the blight where his God awaits. And where, if we only forfeit our wills and abandon everything we hold dear, humanity can join him. So, Ultima would have us follow in the footsteps of the king.
And follow we shall. For now.
Exciting stair climbing gameplay. Oh, I can jump! Can't take my X button from me.
Would require not only power, but a constitution strong enough to wield it. Acquiring the first would be simple. Untouched by the blight, Valisthea was replete with ether, and we had only to place jewels in her crown to claim it. Acquiring the second, however, demanded creativity. And so I cast forth the seeds of humanity.
You created us.
Is that not what gods do? We sowed the seeds for you, Muthos, all that you might one day blossom. And our future thus secured, we thought to slumber, though that would prove a grave mistake. For it was as we slept that man committed his greatest sin. He awoke. Alone in a world bereft of his God's radiance, he stumbled blindly, desperate for guidance. Finding no light, he sought to kindle his own. And from that single errant impulse was his will born. Having discovered himself at last, man turned his eyes inward and found he desired evermore that which only magic might afford. So wars were waged and brothers slain for custody over that dwindling resource. And the land, she wept tears of black.
He would condemn us for this. Surely he cannot be so blind to his own hypocrisy.
Not blind, just unwilling to admit the truth. But we're one and the same.
You find out your gods are just weird spacemen. They fucked their world up so bad that they just created a new one. And hope to then use you as vessels. Not that different from the terror plot in FF9, really.
Is that?
Ifrit. Or what's left of him.
Long have our ashes lain cold for want of a spark. Cast your eyes upon them and see what you must become. Valisthea cannot endure a second claim upon her being. The avarice of man drives her ever closer to destruction. But she may yet be saved by you. It is what you were born to do, why we nursed you and fed you, as your own mother should have. And now that you are fully grown, our Muthos, it is time at last for you to serve your purpose.
To right your wrongs. If our sin is wanting to survive, then you are as marked by it as we are. The fault is yours. Our wills were born because you abandoned us. And now, you would have us forfeit them.
Sometimes, cause, you know, it's a meme format. It's like sometimes you can explain the customers something in the most simple way ever, and they'll just stare at you like Ultima is here.
All for a place in your new paradise.
I've seen that look. I've seen that.
Do you imagine yourselves worthy of one? Mankind has no place in our world. Is this truly so difficult to comprehend? We only ever require you, Muthos, when the time comes to bid this wretched realm farewell. None shall follow, none shall remain.
What do you mean, none?
This is our world. Once the land's rebirth is complete, humanity will have served its purpose. Why would we continue to suffer that which has caused us so much vexation?
Because the land doesn't belong to you. It belongs to us all! What?
That is where you are mistaken. You own nothing but your precious will.
Brother.
I can't do this alone.
And you don't have to.
I grow weary of your dissent. Now you must learn that this master will not tolerate disobedience.
My friends, my family. We have all suffered, all fought to survive. This world may be flawed. It may be broken. But it's all we have. And if we can't share it, I see only one other choice. You have to go.
You may have created us, Ultima. But it's time we lived on our own terms. This isn't your world anymore.
It's ours.
Bow down, Apprentice, hearts disdained.
Okay, stop it!
Be sublimed through gain-standing. Only with heads hung low is penance paid. O wretched mortals incapable even of contrition, in fitting season shall we reap our harvest.
Thanks for the moral support, Torgal. Torgal went AFK there, fucking saw him.
gifted this chance. And still you would raise your hand against the Lord.
What now?
The darkness bends. He means to end us.
It wouldn't be the first time. But let's make it his last.
Your fate is inexorable. Surrender the vessel unto the darkness. Surrender it unto us. Kneel before us.
Alright, sick juggle, bro, sick juggle. I can actually play. Falcon punch! Falcon. Blast! Blast! Right, time for a beer. Yeah, the whole fight was a fucking light show.
At last, for countless generations, have we awaited this moment. Your struggles have made you strong, yet your soul remains heavy with sin. Absolution is nigh. Repent, and all shall be forgiven.
So I watched Nosferatu recently, and my nerdy ass recognised one of the actors as being Sid's voice actor. It's like, I fucking know that voice.
Tell me, Clive. How many lives have you saved since taking my name?
Fewer than we have ruined. Wherever we go, we leave a sea of tears in our wake. These are the wages of your will, son.
What good are our choices when all they ever bring, all they will ever bring,
He's in a
is
few.
death?
He's in a few Robert Eggers
There's no
movies.
atoning, Clive.
He's in The Witch as well.
No matter how hard you try. So why not leave it all behind?
Leave it all behind.
Please, won't somebody save me? Won't anybody love me?
I yearn, yet still she is not mine. Have I not given enough?
From will is born desire, and it is this which consumes you, rendering you incomplete.
Do you not see how the world bends and warps under the weight of your hungering hearts? What if it could all just go away? Just go away.
Clive! Little 6-year-old Josh.
None of this is real. Wake up. It's time to go home, Clive.
Clive.
That's right. You're my brother.
Brother.
Kingdom Hearts ship!
Come. Remember who you are.
Clive.
Once more, lest you forget.
Live.
My name is Clive. Clive Rossfield. Look. Ultima.
Clive Rossfield. Newest character in Tekken 8.
Even here, the light of the vessel's will cannot be quenched. And the Phoenix, his trespass should not have been possible. Not possible unless he has been with Muthos all along. The mark of the Phoenix, emblazoned upon his heart, made manifest by the power of will alone. The power of creation. Can it be? Are their wills truly so potent?
still talking.
That's what I do. Keep a low profile until late game, and then I don't shut the fuck up. That's how anime villains work.
Damn it, Clive. Wake up.
Hurt.
Sorry to wake you, but I think it may be time to leave. This place.
And once again does my creation stray from the path laid before it. Steeped in conceit, you fancy yourself a god. You embrace Logos. But we will put an end to
We're
this
talking about late stage
hubris.
capitalism now.
What are you talking about?
In the halls of origin does our true power quicken. And there shall you be made complete. Soon, Mythos, soon you will discover how little you know of suffering. And so the crystals are no more. Yet in their silence, a new song rings. Its chorus building, a crescendo as it enters its final movement, stirring those long aslumber to waking. And back to their origin.
Final stage! Now we just need these guys to say their dumb shit.
bloody crystal's cracked. So where the hell are they?
Just have Gav be like, oh, thank God they're done. Goots! That was a really good assist when we took down that behemoth together.
Is that ether?
What in good Grieger's name is going on?
This is wrong.
Actually, I love how they're all like in like a fanned out formation protecting Goots.
Are we back?
Clive! Joshua!
Jill!
I've got potions! But you'll have to buy them or Nam will kill me!
Is everyone alright?
We're fine. What happened?
Too much to explain here.
Mate! We're leaving! Now! Everyone, fall back to the ship!
I will be with you anon.
Thank you.
Bang!
I need to tell everyone what happened at Drake's Spine. And I'm going to need Otto's help.
There's something about it. I feel like it's...
Anything else? New missive.
Still alive, I see. Something tells me that eyesore on the horizon is your doing. How'd you manage that?
It's a long story. One that I'd rather only tell once.
Right. All hands on deck then.
Is this everyone? As I'm sure you've all guessed, the crystal which now commands the eastern skies was summoned by Ultima. He called it Origin. Though the significance of that name is as yet unclear.
What does it matter what it's called? Its emergence tore Twinside asunder and wiped my homeland from the map.
Mention of the Dominion spires can be found in the oldest of Valisthian records. But to the best of my knowledge, none provide any hint as to their true nature. That they would prove the horns of some slumbering demon. Well...
The Dominion's demise was at least quick. Elsewhere, the Republican army cannot hope to contain the chaos engulfing Randalar.
Randalar!
Amber is in flames, and the Empire.
Our allies are crying out for answers. I've sent the curse breakers to give them what assurances we can, but right now that amounts to fuck all.
They wouldn't be able to stop what the skies have started in any case. People here and across the realm grow sicker with every passing day.
Could it be that this new Mother Crystal is like the others? That it draws upon the land's ether? It certainly looked that way from stone here.
If that were true, it would explain the hastening spread of the Blight since the crystal's appearance. Would it not?
And as the land's ether slowly rises to the surface, it pools, corrupting all who cannot channel its energies. Archay above, ether floods below, and in the middle, here we languish, hopelessly entrapped.
It's all right. When we faced him at Stone here, Ultima told us his true power quickens in the Halls of Origin. Needless to say, we cannot allow that to continue. If we are to stop him, we will have to find a way into the crystal.
How are we going to manage that then? It's up in the sky. And fast as she is, the Enterprise can't fly.
It's a lot to take in, and I reckon we'd all benefit from some time to clear our heads. The answer will come to us. Don't you worry. Ain't that right, Clive?
Right. That's right.
Well, go on then. Bugger off. Same goes for you, Clive. You won't solve anything like this. Trust me. Go and get some fresh air, eh?
Thank you. Joshua seemed upset.
No side quests yet. What have you got that's new, Karen?
Aye, it's a dangerous world out there.
Was it just the shit that Goots was trying to sell me before? I think it is. I think it is. Sure.
You're rubbing me blind, you know. You'll not find a better price than that. It'd better all be here. Finished, are you?
Hey, let me guess, you can also just make the same
What
shit
did you get?
Goots was offering to make.
For Sancthornian, dear.
That's what we really want to make. I'll make it for
Not
shits and
bad,
giggles.
if I do
but
say so myself.
Can I reinforce it? Nope.
And?
I'll make it, but I'll keep it as a collector's item.
Ultima may have created us, but he doesn't make us who we are. Only we can do that. And if he would have us fight for our survival, so be it. It's what we've been doing all along.
Much like Ultima himself, it would seem. His new world being naught but a means to survive. And so, we must contend to decide which of us shall inherit the land. Should Ultima prevail, it will mean death for us all. Of that, we can be certain. But even should he fail, what world awaits us? A withered, godless place, where our newfound freedom will most like prove a chain in itself.
Well, that may be. But a chain can always be broken. As long as one has the will to break it, it won't be easy. It may take generations, centuries of suffering. And that is if everyone plays their part. But it will happen. And when it does, it will be on our terms. That is the world that awaits us.
Indeed. And what better world could one wish for?
But first, we have to reach that crystal.
Then it's a good thing I have wings.
You can't even stand, let alone fly. And only the Founder knows what horrors await in those skies. You certain about this?
Am I certain? I am the Phoenix. I will do what I must. This is our fight. Remember?
All right. I yield. But only what you must, yes? I'm still your sworn shield.
That you are.
And what of my wings? Lest you forget, you go to stand against a god. I would not have you succumb to fatigue before the fight begins. Ifrit, your brother mentioned that some few of the dominants who had lost their power to you were still able to prime. Is that true?
It is. But their icons no longer submitted to their will.
Then mine will have to be stronger. That you both might save your strength for the battle to come.
You don't have to do this.
If you do, there's a chance you might lose all you have left.
And what have I but regret? My life ended in the Dominion. I fear death no more. Besides, I would have words with Ultima.
Give him a big old
He
piece
has
of my
much
mind.
to answer for.
We are in your debt, Dion.
We can speak of debts when this is over.
He speaks like a man who knows he's not coming back. And has come to terms with that.
That doesn't mean that we have to. Does it, Clive?
Time to talk to Jill. I only hope she understands.
So yep, we're all now preparing for the final fight stage.
Come to wish on a star.
That might not be such a bad idea. This is it, Jill. You know what I have to do. Why I have to do it. There's no turning back now. This is where our journey was leading us.
A little bit interested
Where it
to
will
see
end,
just
for
how
better
many
or
side
worse.
quests there are.
I could pray to Metia for you.
Just trying to think. There's two I can think
But you'll
of.
be all right, won't you, Clive? You always are.
I did promise we'd watch the moon together.
I'll be waiting.
this time?
Well, there's a few more than 2. There's a few more than 2.
Better make sure I haven't forgotten any.
That's true. Probably... So I can probably access all the DLC stuff now as well, which might make up some of this. In case you haven't noticed, your poor hound spends all of his time of late on my rear deck whimpering like Gav in his cups. Something ain't right, and my gut tells me it's not to do with his supply of antelope bones. Right.
What is it this time, Torgal?
So another one. In search of a lost tome. Reluctant as I am to add to your burdens, I would ask your aid in the personal matter, albeit one that may be beneficial to your cause. There exists ancient texts deemed so injurious to modern thought that mere possession is deemed a crime. This was a chance encounter with one such tome from a distance that sparked within me the scholastic curiosity which burns to this very day. I wish to enlist your aid in reclaiming that text. Should you require further incentive, notice I am willing to offer compensation for your services rendered.
Something tells me this is no mere adventure story.
Company.
Clive, my boy! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended for you to get involved, but such are the times we live in, huh?
I would have done the same for anyone else.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible nobleman. But tell me, is the realm truly in as dire a state as Rutherford suggests?
From what little I saw, you were right to be worried.
I suppose I should have expected the worst. But I was rather hoping the great and good of the realm might have things a little more under control. Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply these days, and without it, the people are bound to lose their way. We must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True, the challenges that face us are many. But in my estimation, there are 2 key areas to be addressed before any other. The realm's armies and her larders. As you've seen firsthand, it's every man and woman for themselves out there. Certain cities have banded together to try and maintain some semblance of order, yes? But such cases are few and far between. And yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us is unity. A unity that transcends even the borders laid down by our ancestors. In short, if Storm does not stand together, she will fall apart.
But how would one even begin to unite the realm?
The armies, my boy. As I told you already, we begin by restoring order among the ranks of those sworn to maintain it. Sadly, I doubt I could convince even the lowliest gaggle of privates to dig a latrine together. But I do know someone the High Commanders have been known to listen to on occasion. Field Marshal Eugen Havel.
I thought he was retired.
He was,
there's
until an Akashic army tore through Randalar and killed most of the rank and file. There is no man alive more capable. Literally. And as luck would have it, I've already spoken with him on the matter.
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. On one condition. That he first speaks with you personally. Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid principle, and he has certain qualms about clasping arms with, well, with an outlaw. I extolled your many virtues as best I could, of course, but the old goat was adamant that he be allowed to appraise you in person. You don't mind, do you, my boy?
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, we will never build a better world. I'll do whatever it takes. And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak with me in person, then so be it.
That's the spirit.
I'll leave for Randalar at once. Would you send a Stolas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dalmekian capital. I'll have him tell Havel to expect you forthwith.
Excellent. Thank you, Uncle.
No, thank you, Clive.
Toggle on the rear decks of Vivian. Just so we don't lose complete and utter track of these. We'll get our
Vivian,
free.
I read your note.
Do them.
And I'd be happy to help you find the book you're looking for.
Thank you, Clive. But tracking it down will not be easy. Are you sure?
The origin
Please.
can wait, yeah.
You have always granted me your wisdom and insight
The
whenever I
impending
asked.
end of our world
It's
can
only
wait.
right that I return the favor. Or at least attempt to.
You are too kind. Alas, what I ask of you is rather more trying than delivering the odd lecture. I spoke with Harpocrates to see if he had any inkling as to where another copy might be found, but... But perhaps it is best that you hear the details from him.
If you say so.
The end of the world is
Forgive
on its
me,
way,
Clive,
but we gotta help
for
Vivian
asking
find a
this of
book.
you. But this book, it set me on the path to becoming who I am today. Its importance cannot
It's a
be
first
understated.
edition, Clive! I actually do think we want to do the Josh and Jill quests as soon as possible. Definitely include those in the next round. As I'm pretty sure the reward for doing them is just having them in your
Clive,
party,
my boy.
so they'll
What a
naturally
pleasure
just
it
make
is to see
other
you.
things a little easier.
Harpocrates. There's something I need to ask you. I've been charged with locating a book called From a Distance.
Then you seek a rare gem indeed. One whose name I had not thought to hear from your lips. You've been talking to Vivian.
Right as always. But she didn't seem keen to tell me very much. I take it she didn't like what you had to say.
And yet I gather it did naught to dissuade her. Clive, if the young professor has tasked you with obtaining a copy, I fear she asks the impossible. The executors would not allow it.
The executors?
Coveters of Secrets. A clandestine organization committed to the collection and intenebration of forbidden texts and technologies. One such text being the tome Vivian seeks, chronicling as it does the true history of the enslavement of bearers. A tale which could overturn the established order were it ever to become widely known. Or, so rumor has it. I've never actually read the thing, or even set eyes on it for that matter.
How is it that I haven't heard of this organization?
Why, secrecy is the executor's watchword. They lurk in the shadows, emerging only to seize that which must be seized, be it books, inventions, or people, before disappearing again, leaving nary a trace.
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her grasp not long after she found it.
By the hand of the executors, yes.
But what drives them? Self-interest or ideology?
Fine question. Sadly, all that is known of the executors can be recounted in a single breath. You may just as soon ask me of their origins, numbers, or the identities of their leaders. Any answer I give would be pure speculation.
Then my hunt was doomed from the first. What was Vivian expecting? That I'd pluck it from thin air?
Not from thin air, no. From ash. Rumors of the executors are rife among the scholars of Storm, but rather less so across the strait. I have a friend. Well, I had a friend in the village of Garnick, a collector of rare tomes, upon which subject we would oft correspond. Alas, I have heard naught from him since the skies fell dark. And no doubt he too has turned. But though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that a surviving copy of From a Distance yet rests upon one of his many shelves, quietly awaiting discovery. If you were, by some chance, able to save even a single book from the poor man's library, I know his soul would rest easier.
Very well. When I next find myself in Waloed, I'll be sure to pay Garnick a visit.
Okay, I'll head there immediately. I've got nothing better going on.
Say what you will.
In other words, I'll drop everything I'm doing and go to a different country right now. I'll check on my doggo first, and there we go.
Pining for something, boy. What is it? What do you see out there? I never did ask where you got that anklet of yours.
From Sid, that's why. On the day he brought him home.
That long ago?
And you're only thinking to ask this now? Sid saw that the pup had a habit of gnawing on his leg, since you ask. Clap that there iron on him to keep him from doing it.
What was wrong, boy?
I'll take like as not. Must have been hard on the poor whelp losing his loving masters at such a young age. Doubly hard in being a frost wolf, torn away from his icons and all. Sid would always tell him, you want that iron gone, you find what it is you're looking for. I reckon what he was looking for was you.
I'm sorry, Torgal. Sorry for making you wait so long. Let's get that thing off you.
Doesn't sound like he wants it off.
Indeed. You miss Sid as much as the rest of us, don't you? You want me to go with you somewhere?
Quick, aren't you? Glad you've been paying attention.
Not nearly as much as you have, Lady Karen.
Aye, good thing and all. It's not like Gav would have kept him in nuts and rubbed his belly these past 10 summers.
Your kindness is appreciated. You've been a good friend to him.
Only because he doesn't talk back like the rest of you. Go on now.
I'm the old crone with a heart of gold.
Where to then, Torgal?
Follow Torgal where? Okay. It's always those outwardly mean old boots who are nice
All right,
deep
Torgal.
down.
Where are you taking me? I'm going to need a little bit more than that, boy. Do you have a better hint for me? Unless you've already given me one. Back on the rear deck, you were looking west, toward Rosaria. Why don't we try the rookery? I haven't been to the island in almost 20 years. To Port Isolde, then. Fingers crossed the old mooring is still there.
to the rookery. Okay.
It's still here. After all these years. A lot smaller than I remember. And you're a lot bigger. You might have to swim, boy. I wasn't being serious. This place hasn't changed at all. The rookery's right through those trees. Come on. Race you there? I bet I could still beat you. Here we are. This was our hideaway. Wasn't it, Torgal?
Oh yeah, little baby Torgal.
Coming here helped me to forget who I was. Or wasn't. Prince, shield. Son his mother could love. Had I been any one of those things? Perhaps. What is it, boy? This is all from the castle. And Phoenix Gate. Did you bring these here? My sparring sword. Well, well. You never stopped looking for me, did you, boy? Thank you, Torgal. For never giving up. For never forgetting.
Even Torgal.
Let's take this with us, shall we?
Aged as the game's going on.
So I don't forget either. That's not the way back to the boat, Torgal. All right. I'm coming. I think I know where we're going.
resolved side.
People always talk about the importance of putting the past behind you. But without it, we wouldn't be who we are today. And we certainly couldn't steer our way to a better tomorrow. Come on, Torgal. Let's go home.
Spy sword. Okay. Okay, make for Garnick. That was in Waloed, wasn't it? Yep.
Get surrounded.
Can I fight the hardest mark? No, I probably gotta do more side quests to unlock it. You fight it in this clearing, right? That I just ran through. As usual, I won't prioritize those if I stumble across them. They're cool.
Which house would a bookworm live in?
Even though the best weapon is definitely locked behind them. Oh, I don't care.
His interest was certainly there.
Just tell me when you find the damn book. There it is. Okay.
This is it. But if what it says is true, I need to get this back to the hideaway.
I can't do that. First I need to probably trigger a fight with these book nerds. We are the keepers of the books.
Leaving so soon, stranger? We've been watching you. From a distance, so to speak.
Subtle. I know who you are.
Then we need not waste time on introductions. Hand me the book. Leave it in our care and return to your life.
Your care? Do you mean to burn it or bury it?
That is not my decision to make. But by one means or another, its contents shall be removed from the common record.
Then I'll have to politely refuse. I won't let you erase our history.
Then we find ourselves at an impasse. Very well. The book can just as easily be pried from your dead hand.
Oh no, he's got a fatty with an axe.
Let's see, shall we?
I haven't fought 10 of them before.
Let's try.
Another two losers trying to get in on the fight. Just getting swatted away. Constantly. Bitch.
Impressive. But we have other means. We shall claim the book yet.
Why do you want it so badly anyway?
It lays out in no uncertain terms the vanity and avarice of mankind. It tells the shameful history of the persecution and oppression of a gifted few by a giftless many. Would you say that this interpretation was correct?
I don't know.
You don't know. Your sword may be sharp.
I
but
don't
your
know.
words are dull.
The player
So
just
let me
skipped
answer
it.
for you. There is no correct interpretation of history. That a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. But there can be no single, immutable explanation as to why they came to pass. It is a question of numbers and of belief. If enough people believe that a set of events occurred for a reason, that belief becomes the truth.
So you're trying to control the truth?
We are trying to protect people from themselves, from knowledge that would bring them naught but pain. That is all. You may keep the book, for now. The world is small. We shall meet again. Until then.
Wait! Damn it. Let's get this back to Vivian. Perhaps she can explain what that was all about.
Oops. Yeah, like he has a chance, eh? Alright, let's quickly take a piss. And get me a beer. Just a BRB. Thank you.
There's something about it. I feel like it's...
Vivian. I found it. The book you lost.
You found it. Thank you, Clive. Even though I asked this of you, I was not entirely sure it would be possible. I feared the executors had seized every copy.
I met with one of these executors, and I convinced him to let me keep it. He told me something. That the truth is just a matter of collective belief. And that if enough people believe a lie, that lie becomes the truth.
It does. But it also means that the truth is not immutable. That it can be changed. Provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people that their perspective is the correct one. As the sad history of the Bearers proves.
You said that the book inspired you to become a scholar.
It did. Or its author, rather. She was a heretic, you see. A firebrand and a dissenter. A gallows stood ready for her in every corner of the realm. And by shunning society, or perhaps being shunned by it, she stumbled upon a truth so potent that an entire realm trembled at the prospect of its utterance. I, too, have always felt somehow set apart from the world of men. A stranger to my own species.
Nerd.
She taught me that my solitude was not a curse, but a gift. And that, though my journey to the truth might be a lonely one, what I found at my destination would be more than worth the cost.
Do you still feel that way? That you're not one of us?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure anymore. Since coming to the hideaway, I find my thinking somewhat clouded. Perhaps the result of studying mankind from a rather closer perspective than I had intended. But the more I study, the more I find value in this perspective. In looking not from the outside, but from within. So if you'll permit me, I'd like to continue my work here. Remember, Clive, when enough people believe, belief begets truth. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you, as I do.
I'll try, Vivian. I'll try.
Scholar's Bonnet. Alright, Josh. Let's honestly just do your quest right now.
Ah, Clive. Joshua, what's wrong? And don't say nothing.
It's not nothing. I've received word from Cyril. The Undying have found Father's will, or something akin to it.
His will? How? And where?
In the crypt beneath Rosalith Castle. After Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the opportunity to recover what relics of the Duchy yet remained. And in the process of doing so, they found a letter from Father.
I'm surprised anything survived down there.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience. I have been meaning to go, but... would you join me?
Of course. I want to know what's in that letter as much as you do.
Very well. I am ready to leave when you are.
See, I'm pretty sure we'll permanently have Josh as a supporter, so might as well have that before we tackle all the other ones. Pretty sure a quest appears for Jill as well, and yeah, let her permanently be in the crew. Should definitely tackle that as soon as possible as well. There's also another quest in here, I see.
Your Grace, my lord.
I trust your journey was not overly onerous.
Cyril, you found a letter from Father?
Yes, I have it here. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
I know that I asked much of you in this coming war, but I see no other way to secure a future for our duchy and our family. Yet even should we succeed in subduing the savages and winning back Drake's breath, the threat of the Blight still looms, and only with all Rosaria striving as one might we at last overcome it. I have made plans to see us through, but such are the obstacles that stand in our way. It shall likely fall to you to continue my work. I know that you have the strength, the courage, and the will to do so. This shall be an arduous inheritance, and so I offer you another, that you might be reminded of the love and faith that I hold for both of you, your father.
An inheritance? It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before his passing.
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate.
What are these plans he spoke of?
His plans for the duchy, your grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the Burning Quill, who entrusted them in turn to me. The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim. But your father's dream did not end there. His grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse, and the founding of a new university to further the development of non-magical technologies. With the Blight spreading ever more widely across the Twins, Archduke Elwyn saw this as the only means of securing Rosaria's survival.
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. To see centuries of common wisdom overturned. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message. Nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides. Those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the less benevolent personages at court.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
'Tis true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess's wrath. But one at least remains, and she has come bearing gifts.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord. After all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering his grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one who might execute it, or a part of it at least.
And where is this woman?
She awaits you in the archive, your grace.
Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
Oh, okay. Where is this archive? Loy and Bocklad. Okay. And we're in Bocklad. Fucking hell.
Do you see that too?
You see that too?
What is it? Oh, please. Just make it stop. I'm scared. It's all right.
Rosie, you sneaky girl.
Time to fight.
I think not.
can't be Rutherford, can it?
I just realised I was doing the other quest. I was doing Freeze Company for Byron. Well, we're fucking here, so we might as well. Josh will still help me do it.
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you!
Might as well.
If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you shall have!
Allow me.
Took me a while to click that.
I don't need your...
Please, Field Marshal, oblige him.
This won't take long.
You're right. It won't.
That's always so
Men,
sure.
Finish him.
Come on, boys. Thinks that'll one to have my number.
It's over.
Rip.
A little longer than I'd have liked. Field Marshal Havel, I presume. Are either of you injured?
No, my lord. You arrived just as our escort turned on us.
Fucking traitors. I'd heard reports of soldiers in the outlying regions abandoning the oaths they swore. But I hadn't thought the corruption had reached so close to the heart of the Republic. It's a fucking disgrace. Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn me, of course. My lord Marquis. Or is Sid the Outlaw more to your liking?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am, or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle has a plan to right the realm, and he needs your help to see it through.
Before I agree to anything, I'd have you answer one question. What do you stand to gain from all this?
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos. But I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right ones, I know I made them for the right reasons. For so long, so many of us have been told how we could live, how we could die, when it should have been our decision all along. Now we have a chance to put things right. But in order to take it, we must stand together. Even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye to eye.
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. But perhaps your uncle was right. You are no ordinary outlaw. I'll never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering my most trusted guard to bring the Dhalmekian fringes under control. Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince them to try and restore order in their own territory.
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only ones we will need to convince.
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals. But those they answer to require a different kind of persuasion. And when it comes to honeyed words, well, we will need an envoy. One who can court even the most stubborn of statesmen. You, perhaps.
I'm flattered. But I'm no diplomat either. And I have other problems to attend to. What we need is a skilled arbitrator. And I may know just the person.
Is that so? And would he happen to be an outlaw too?
Of a different kind, perhaps.
Beggars can't be choosers. I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this. Very well. Send your man to me right away.
I shall.
My Lord Marquis. Your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal to his manor in Port Isolde.
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good, my lord.
Huh. An envoy. I'm not sure I'm the man to talk anyone round. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. No. This is a job for someone with experience. Someone like Quentin. I hope I can convince him at least.
Okay, number 2 is what I want to be following. Number 2 is very fucking close.
My lord, your grace. I hardly recognize you. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield, loyal servant to the Phoenix and his shields. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, entrusted me with the delivery of a gift. I only hope you can forgive my tardiness in bringing it to you.
Lift up your head, Lady Goditha. You have our gratitude for your service to our house and to our father.
I merely did my duty, as any proud Rosarian would.
My lady, perhaps you could explain a little more? What exactly is the gift you bring?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rosfield to be presented with certain keepsakes upon their coming of age.
Indeed it has. Our father often spoke of the day when our turn would come.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Matching armbands for you both. Alas, he did not live. Indeed, he was taken from us even before they could be completed. He had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished himself, but it was not to be. And his gifts remain incomplete.
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you, as they are. It was your father's wish that you be presented with the finished articles, not these works in progress. But with his grace long since gone, and the stone left unclaimed, I had little choice. You are grown men now, and his house is yours. And while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the Heartstone in his stead, I know that nothing would have pleased him more than for you to do so.
Thank you, Lady Goditha.
Fairy Goditha.
What else? Of course, my lady. May our father's will be done.
Oh, I am much obliged.
Do you know where we might find this Heartstone, my lady?
I do. Though it may be a matter of a good deal more than simply happening upon it. It is found in the bellies of elder griffins, you see. We do at least know where to find one. A certain specimen has made its nest in Titan's Wake, not far from here.
A certain specimen?
You are most perceptive, Your Grace. In answer to your unspoken question, yes. In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay. I have been tracking its movements since you were but a boy. Were you to slay it in his stead, as men of House Rosfield, it would surely make your father proud.
What say you, Joshua?
What else?
You hear the bring closure to dead people. Okay.
Faster! Eyes peeled, Joshua.
There he is.
There it is. For House Rossfield.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Nazi shit!
Nice try.
Psycho Crusher? Nova? Maybe. Oh no, it'll live. Fucking wrecked. Fucking get shut down from your own attack, bitch.
Is this the Heartstone?
I expect Lady Godotha will know.
Getting bloody frozen in place like that. That's like first dive.
Oh, thank the Founder you were safe. The Griffin is slain then?
And the Heartstone claimed.
Yes. This radiant luster, like frozen flame. It is just as your father described it. Thank you, my lord. Your grace. Your father would be so proud.
Lady Godotha, the lapidary is ready.
Thank you, Cyril. I will be with him shortly. If you would excuse me, I shall have the stone cut and set forthwith. The armbands are complete. Pray, take them. They are yours, after all. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. It symbolizes unwavering will and devotion. And the graven vines encircling the stone represent the unbreakable bonds between you.
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies both inside and outside the duchy. Enemies who would thwart his vision. Only with unwavering devotion would it ever be realized.
And only if we stood together, as Phoenix and Shield, as brothers in arms. Only then might those enemies be overcome.
Indeed. His Grace knew the enormity of the task he would entrust to you, his heirs. But this was more than just a message. It was a promise. That he would always be with you.
Thank you, Lady Goditha, for remaining the steadfast custodian of our father's will.
Forgive me, my lady, but there is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would surely not have overlooked them. So, how were you able to keep them from her?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, your father spoke to me of his intentions for the bands, of the deep love he had for both of you, and his hopes for your future. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewelry be sent away from the castle. It was then that I knew she meant to betray us. I tried to warn your father, but it was too late. When word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short. So I took up the armbands and I fled into the night.
And thank the Founder you did.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the Griffin, thinking I might claim the Heartstone on its passing. And so my pursuit continued, until Lord Cyril appeared before me. He informed me that His Grace's will had been recovered.
Whew. Such an exposition.
And that his sons were alive and well.
Lady Goditha, on behalf of my father and all the people of Rosaria, I thank you for your loyal service.
As do I.
Thank you, my lord. Your Grace, for coming back to us. For giving my service meaning.
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the inheritance that was denied you for so long.
It is. And we thank you for the part you played, Cyril.
If you would permit me to play my part a little longer, might I suggest that you make your way to your father's memorial atop Hawk's Cry Cliff. Let him see that you have received his blessing, and that his vision lives on in you.
I suppose it would be churlish not to. What do you say, Clive? Shall we pay Father a visit?
I think we should. I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks before we left for Origin.
Your father's helm is enshrined there. It has been since the day we recovered it from Phoenix Gate. I prithee claim it, for it too is a part of your inheritance, and I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in your hands than perched upon some lonely rock.
I see no bands.
Thank you, Cyril.
We wear our bands on the inside.
Come on, Clive. He's waiting. Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond.
But
think we're strong enough.
Save the world? Of course. To have overcome Father's political enemies. Tempest. Especially knowing what we know now.
Look, it's a little too heavy.
Mother was truly capable of. Perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
Not threatening at these enemies. We'll have a chill conversation while we fight them. Fuck it. See, it's not a straightforward route to get there, so...
Come on. Yeah.
It's just back there. Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. And I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
We won't lay you down.
Onward then.
Feel his father's ghost saluting them.
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning.
Joining hands with Joshua. Joshua is joined, yeah. And he's joined the party and remained here until we depart for Origin. Yeah. So we'll try and find the Jill equivalent of that quest. So she normally hangs on the balcony. I see there's another missive. Concern for Jill. Though her icon bear so much suffering, the loss of Shiva weighs heavy on her heart, and we would be poor friends indeed if we not seek to lighten that burden, even but only a fraction. Before we depart for the skies, I would speak on this more in private.
If Joshua's worried about Jill, I should go and speak with him.
Just get these out of the way. Okay.
Joshua, I read your message. You're right. Jill is different. I don't think I'd realized how different, but since we returned from Drake's spine, I've felt it more and more.
I suppose it's not hard to imagine why.
She doesn't think she belongs anymore.
And that's why we need to remind her she is still one of us. To let her know that we still need her. Now more than ever. That you still need her. But how to do that? When last we were truly close, we were but children.
Of course. Do you remember the time we accompanied Father on his annual tour of the Duchy? And Jill and I broke from the procession to ride up Man's Hill.
To see the snow daisies, I remember. It was the first time Father had allowed us to join him. And when he realized you were missing, he had the entire retinue down to the pot boys combing the countryside.
In the rain.
Yeah.
A thunderstorm forced us to take refuge in a grove of oaks before we'd even made it halfway there. It was the Lord Commander who finally found us, and needless to say, he was none too pleased.
Then it seems you and Jill have unfinished business. What do you say?
Man's Hill. It's not that far.
Just forget that Clive and Jill got real close. I think Josh was speaking more of his and Jill's relationship.
Little in Southern Rosaria remains as it was when we were children.
You're saying I should go and scout the area for bandits?
I'm saying we should first go and see if there are actually still any snow daisies left. What would you do without me, Clive?
It's very close. Oh. Yeah, it's all blighted now.
This is the place, but...
I'm sorry, Clive.
There's nowhere been spared. What do we do now?
We keep looking. Man's Hill cannot be the only place where snow daisies grow.
Perhaps, but it's the only place I know of. You of.
Then why not ask someone who might know of another?
Someone at the backyard. To the hideaway, then.
Bloody hell, just came from the hideaway. Now, the same quest that came from the hideaway, you're sending me back there immediately.
Let's hope one of the gardeners knows where to find
then
snow
you're sending me to the
daisies.
fucking garden.
Say what you will.
This should tide us over till the new moon.
To the new moon.
Oh. What brings you down from the heavens, Sid?
I need your advice. Joshua and I are looking for a place where snow daisies grow. Preferably in abundance.
Snow daisies. Then you'll want somewhere not too hot and not too cold. And where the winds are strong enough to carry the seeds. I reckon Man's Hill would be a good place to start. There in the Royal Meadows, perhaps? Both have similar climbs and the right elevation. If the Blight hasn't claimed them yet.
Right. Thank you.
Did you learn where we might find our flowers?
The gardener here mentioned the royal meadows in Sambrak.
Ah, the fields beyond Northreach. Well, if that's the case, then Yote was right. I recalled that she kept the record of our travels, you see. So I asked her if she'd perhaps noted anywhere that snow daisies grew, and she mentioned Oilerfeist Bay.
Whose shores border the meadows. Off we go then.
I guess while we're fucking here, we'll advance Free's company. What's up, Quentin, you podgy Daniel Craig looking motherfucker? So yeah, these quests are long, but at least they do provide a sense of closure. In all kinds of ways.
Quentin, I have a proposal for you.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking more of me than a cask of Gotand gold.
At least here we're trying to establish what's going to become the new world order once all is said and done. That's important. Next stream, next Final Fantasy stream is the last, the final fight with Ultima will definitely happen.
And do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years. Was there anything else? Perhaps I can fetch you a meat pie as well.
I know it's a lot to ask, but I can think of none better suited to the role.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. I told you, Clive. The people of Lostwing are my family, and I cannot abandon them. You'll have to find someone else.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So am I.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different?
Vivian's request was the most selfish so far.
They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what you do best. If it's the vineyard you're worried about, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we will.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself we're family. Don't you trust us?
You know that's not what I'm...
Then what are you saying? That only we are worth saving? Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced us we could build new lives for ourselves, and if you can do that, who's to say you couldn't convince the entire realm?
A stirring argument. I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat by comparison.
So you'll join us?
Where do you need me?
Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. He's currently in Port Isolde. I can arrange for a party of Cursebreakers to accompany you there.
That would be very much appreciated. I hear the roads are far from safe these days.
Hopefully not for long. My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking...
We're at the point where we're returning to the hideaway and speaking to Byron, so that's cool.
The garrison is threatening to pull their sentries.
Yeah, I've got no choice but to ride to this one.
I would speak with this Duke.
Saw the captain just now. Wasn't wearing his uniform.
Because he handed it in.
Good girl.
Fly, Ambrosia.
are vast. Where do we even start?
Yote mentioned the coastline. We can start there.
Well, that does look like snow daisies up ahead.
What do you see, boy?
It's a casual minotaur.
Let's
I
hope this
am
is the last one.
the guardian of the flowers!
One way to find out.
Get fucked up.
That was harder than I expected. But Founder, it was worth it. They're beautiful.
Do you think Jill will like them?
She'll love them. Come on. Let's go.
It appears my work is done. The rest, as they say, is up to you. Well, you and the skies. We wouldn't want another thunderstorm now, would we?
Yep. Oh, Byron's right fucking there. Let's go.
Uncle, I bring good news. The Field Marshal has agreed to your plan.
Ha! Of course he has. I didn't doubt you for a moment, dear boy.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Port Isolde as we speak. They will await your return there. As will one other.
One other? Who, exactly?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not be as successful in convincing those with political power. He asked if I might have a solution, and I suggested a certain Imperial Lord Magistrate turned Liberator.
One of your co-conspirators?
Master Quinton would probably call me one of his, but yes.
Another outlaw, then. Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos in their places. Good thinking, Clive. I'm glad you approve. The more the merrier, eh?
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quentin can solve our problem with the armies, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain shortages.
Oh, don't you worry, my boy. The 7 high houses will be seeing to that. They have all agreed to make the most generous of donations. Oh, of course, it did take a little persuasion, but luckily I had some unexpected help.
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward Rockford from a horde of bloodthirsty bandits.
It was more of a handful.
Well, the old battle axe was so pleased. She had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks by the next new moon. And when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as tripped over themselves in the rush to follow suit.
I'm happy to hear it.
Now, I must be getting back to the manor. Join us there at your earliest convenience, would you?
Of course, Uncle.
Well, we're going here, aren't we? Yep. Damn, Clive. It's tiresome work.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with Akashic?
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any food to keep them going, they'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fool's errand.
If I may, gentlemen, perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar, awaiting a safe haven. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the fallow fields. But I'm sure that you wish to continue your discussion. Forgive the interruption. 2 such firm friends as yourselves need no help from the likes of me. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond between you.
Us? Friends?
I can't stand the man.
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you keep.
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep? The man's a criminal.
Criminal? How dare you?
How dare you?
Fit to breathe the same air as this fine, upstanding young gentleman.
Upstanding? He calls himself Sid the Bloody Outlaw.
Once more onto the breach.
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation, nor to claim the thrones of those that already exist. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm that mankind might weather the current storm. And to do that, we must convince those in power, the generals, the statesmen, the nobles, that our cause is just. There will be disagreements, yes. And I imagine some resistance, much
over that fireplace.
resistance. But we cannot let that deter us. If we show them the path, show them that we walk it ourselves, then I am confident they will follow. The fate of the world lies in my nephew's hands, but the well-being of her people lies in ours. And we must not squander the chance that Clive has given us.
Uncle Byron,
Now, with that settled, let's move on to the signing of the Accord. For what great moment in history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony? Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the Triunity. Rutherford, Mike Will.
Rutherford!
Well, my boy, the stage is set.
That it is.
This is the role you were born for. Now I ask only that you trust in the talents of your supporting cast. We shall play our parts to the best of our abilities, that you might have the opportunity to shine. The realm needs its Sir Crandall, and there is no better Crandall than you, Clive. I want you to keep this signed accord as proof of our faith in you.
I will. Thank you, Uncle.
Sorry, can't take you where you need to get to.
What do you think that thing is? And how the hell is Sid gonna deal with that?
All these little green reminders just hovering all over me.
Jill, there's something I'd like to show you.
There is? And where might this something be?
It's, not here. Now, I know this is sudden, but how would you fancy a trip to Oriflamme?
Just gotta assume that we literally use those fucking crystals. Just crystal teleportation is just a thing that everyone can use. Although they're not crystals,
There are
they're
so many.
spires.
This is what you wanted to show me. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything.
They're stuck in swords and sorcery,
Smile
but this
on your face
universe
is
is
enough.
closer to achieving space
We've been worried
travel
about
than
you.
us.
Joshua and I.
Intergalactic space travel.
Do you remember when I took you to
God, they
Man's
have
Hill?
teleportation.
Tried to.
How could I forget? You saw me crying and thought a change of scenery might lift my spirits. In the end, it earned me a nasty cough and a stern scolding from your mother. But I felt wonderful nonetheless.
I'm sorry. I had no idea what I was getting us both into. But I couldn't bear to see you like that.
Before we left, my chambermaid told me she'd overheard your mother talking about my marriage prospects with some of the noblewomen at court. They were debating whether it would be more profitable to marry me off to one of the high houses instead of saving me for the ducal line. No one thought to ask me what I wanted. I was nothing to them. A pawn at best. I felt so trapped. So lonely.
I didn't know.
But I wasn't alone. You were there. Your hand in mine as we ran for those oaks. And I knew then, no matter what happened, I would be all right. I'll never forget that feeling. Before we broke camp, the morning after the storm, do you know what I did?
No? What?
No.
I slipped away from my governess to climb the tor. And from there I saw a sea of petals, all reaching for the sun. And I realized No matter how terrible the night, dawn would always come. That you would always come for me. And you have. Again and again.
Where do you see us? When all this is over?
I don't know. Not here, though. I think I've outgrown the twins. After everything we've been through, the realm just seems so small. I'll need some space to spread my wings.
Then that's what you'll have. And I'll stop at nothing to see that you do.
I never was much good at garlands, but it'll have to do.
I'll treasure it forever.
Thank you, Clive. For this, the flowers, for everything. It's exactly what I needed. You are my treasure. We should probably be getting back. I expect the others are wondering where we are.
You're right. There's still much to do.
Not me, I'm never fucking
And we'll
there.
do it together.
Run around doing dumb shit for people. Shiva's Kiss. Ah, yeah, bit of Diamond Dust, which is the big shit, the big Shiva attack. And Jill joins the party. Yep. Okay. Ah, here we go, and that's also what opens the. So that's a DLC quest. So Echoes of the Fallen. I see. Oh, and the Rising Tide, the other DLC chapter. Yep, here we go. It's expanding. So yeah, clearly Josh and Jill both feature in those, hence I would have had to do that. Okay, well there's something to do out here in Lost Wings, so what is it? Might as well.
A fortress?
The garrison is threatening to pull their sentries from the markets if we don't cooperate.
I would speak with this duke.
Saw the captain just now. Wasn't wearing his uniform.
Your town needs you. I need you.
Hello, Dame.
You have a moment, Clive.
What is it?
It's the Duke, unsurprisingly. His Eminence has assumed full control of the garrison and put every able-bodied man to work on the fortifications. The town was left all but unguarded, so Philippe was compelled to form a citizens' watch to fill the void. And though my dear boys have been characteristically willing to assist him in this, they want for bodies. So I was wondering,
If you would lend them your strength, that the people of Northreach might sleep easier, if only for a few nights.
Of course. Whatever you need.
Thank you, Clive. What would I do without you? Philippe told me he had men stationed at...
Where can I find the mistress of this establishment?
Here, my lady.
That's the bitch with the
To
hat.
whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
My name is Sabine, and it is my displeasure to be the daughter of the Duke of Oriflamme, who I understand is causing you and your town no small amount of trouble. I wish to speak to you about what might be done.
Very well. Let us speak. I trust you'll forgive me, Clive.
Absolutely. Our conversation can wait.
Please, proceed.
As you know, my father is a most overbearing and supercilious man, and I join you in objecting to his every action. Indeed, I owe you my thanks for continuing to argue against his reckless plans. Yet I fear he is not one to be swayed by reason. No. He must be made to face the consequences of his actions.
And who would make him do this?
I would. Myself and several other like-minded individuals. Were you to join us, we would surely have the strength to drive him from Northreach for good.
Does that not seem a trifle... drastic?
Drastic action is precisely what is called for. Unless you are content to see your people downtrodden and dispossessed. My father would have it that citizens exist only to serve the Empire. That they should be forced to make every sacrifice to ensure her revival. But he is wrong. It is not the people who must serve the Empire, but the Empire who must serve her people.
Boop.
He's always been like this. Scornful of the opinions of anyone he judged beneath him. But he cannot be allowed to ride roughshod over the common folk any longer. We must fight him. By all possible means.
Fight him? No. My purpose is to quell the tension in Northreach, not to stoke it. Respectfully, my lady. Our only chance of saving this town depends upon every one of us uniting against our common enemy. Your father and his followers included. While I understand your frustrations, I cling to the hope that he may yet be won round.
False hope, I assure you. But I see that your mind is made up. I shall bother you no longer. If you will extend me the same courtesy, I bid you good day.
Good day.
She certainly has spirit.
Indeed. But unfortunately for us, that spirit is only likely to harden the Duke's resolve, which may be enough to seal the fate of this town. Not that she cares. This is all about her and her father.
Families.
I'm sorry, where were we? Ah, yes. I was about to tell you of Philippe's plans for the town watch, but perhaps it's better that you heard them from him. I believe he's in the market, if you'd be so kind as to seek him out.
Right away.
It's just a pity I cannot join you. I'd like to see the two of you in action together.
Ugh.
Your town needs you. I need you.
What does the dame have to say about all this, I wonder?
So you are content to abandon the... Please, I beseech you. If you are a true son of Northreach, you must fight to defend your home.
That's exactly what I am doing, milady. Or trying to, at least. The land is crawling with fiends, and someone has to keep watch.
Even when our true enemy is hiding in the garrison? Fine. You're not the only able-bodied man in Northreach. Thank you so much for your help.
She cornered you too, then?
Could hardly get a word in edgeways. Like father, like daughter, eh?
She made an uninvited appearance at the Vale earlier, hoping to convince the Dame to join her in fomenting rebellion.
I bet that went well. Her ladyship seems to have a way with people. Anyway, what brings you here?
Our mutual friend thought you might welcome some help.
Oh, she did she? Right as always. In fact, you're just the man. We've had some reports, you see. Sightings of, you know what.
They're back.
Seems that way. All over, too. We haven't been able to confirm anything yet, but if you're willing, you could go and see what's what.
Right. Where should I look?
You know Grieger's Weep? One of the sightings places them somewhere on its shores.
I'm on my way.
Thank you, Clive. I'll look into one of the other sightings. Let's rendezvous back here later.
Not actually far.
Let's go. Damn it. The reports were true. I need to stop them before they get to the town.
Easy enough.
It's over.
Call that a test, Ultima?
Clive, it's me. Are you all right?
I am. But it seems the reports were true. The thralls have returned. I dispatched the few that I found, though.
Well, that's something, I suppose. But what were they doing south of town? They all came from the north last time. We might be able to fend off an attack from one side or the other, but from both?
Do you have eyes in the north?
Some. I should probably go and have a look, though, just to be sure. You head back to Northreach. I want you there just in case war breaks out while I'm away.
What do you mean?
Her ladyship's been busy working her magic on the townspeople. Stirring up ill feeling towards her father. She'll have her marching on the barracks if we're not careful.
What? This is exactly what the Dame was afraid of. I'll do what I can to calm things down. Be careful out there, all right?
Don't worry, I'm not like you. One sniff of those things and I'm running back to town screaming blue murder.
Smart, I guess.
Do you not see, Father? The people of Northreach have given enough, and only a fool would ask for more.
Listen to me, Sabine. Where would our people be without their country, hmm? The Empire is their sword and their shield. It is she that ensures they can live without fear. And now she teeters on the brink. Without their sword, how will the people fight? Without their shield, how will they protect their kin? Can the unarmed stand against the advancing hordes? No. But there is yet hope. A new shield, a new sword. A new empire. We can rebuild Sandbreck, just as great Grieger wills it.
Perhaps we could, Father. But we don't want to. Not if it is built on the broken backs of the people.
Please, let us not quarrel in the street. You must see that no good will come of this. Our fight is not with each other, but with the threat that draws ever closer to our gates. A threat that your sword has yet to rid us of, Your Eminence.
You will hold your tongue, whore! You may have filled my daughter's head with your heresy, but I will not be corrupted.
Corrupted? Your daughter's opinions are her own, as you would know if you had ever deigned to listen to her. At least I hope they are your opinions, and not posturing born of a family feud. Northreach deserves better than that.
Northreach deserves better than you, Carla. Yes, I know who you are. The slut of Twinside who bedded a Branded.
Jealous, are you? That a woman might choose a bearer over a pious man of Griga.
Clive! I met a swarm of thralls coming south from Oriflamme. Hundreds of them. Too many to count.
No. Work on the fortifications has scarcely begun. We will retreat to Caer Norvent and there make our stand. Did you hear me? That was an order!
While this is but a heartfelt plea, let us make our stand here and protect our homes. Protect those that we love. Together, for Northreach!
Oh, this slut is really in
You heard
control.
the dame? What are we waiting for? Pikemen to the gates. Archers to the roofs. Quickly, come on!
But she is but a common...
whore, yes. And we'd follow her to the gates of hell.
I mean, hey, 30's a lot, depending on the circumstance.
The men have their orders, and they look like following them. I got them spaced out at regular intervals. Whichever direction the thralls strike from, there'll be someone there to meet them.
Thank you, Philippe. Rest assured, the people will play their part. The herbalist has donated her
A
stock
lot of people to
medicines
play
me.
video games with.
Should any of your men be injured,
Not a lot of
take them to the
people on a
Vale.
white girl's
We'll
friends
see to them
list.
there.
Thank you, milady. I will.
I'll play my part too. You still want for numbers. Unlike the enemy. I only hope I can go some way to evening the odds. Philippe, can I leave the south in your hands? I doubt the thralls by the lake were the last of their number.
Of course. I'll lead a party down that way so we don't get taken by surprise. What about you?
I'll make my way up the road to Oriflamme. I fought a few of these things. Well, I can't promise to hold them all back. I should be able to thin the herd.
All right. But take care.
Thank you, both of you.
You can thank us when it's over.
Till then, madame.
When the fighting begins.
See, I know we're going overtime. We'll wrap her up after this quest. Decide to push her a little further because I can see we got a lot of work ahead of us. Alright.
There are so many of them.
Not for long.
not.
No. It's only just begun.
Get out of here! Get a stupid movie attack out of here!
Another down.
Another down!
That looks to be the last of them. I wonder how the others fared. Better hurry back to town. Come on, Torgal.
Clive, it's good to see you.
And you. The road to Oriflamme is clear. How did you and your men fare?
Well, we ended up fighting for our lives down by the lake. Took a few nicks, but nothing the girls of the Vale can't put right.
Glad to hear it.
Well, it seems we've survived. For the time
Nothing,
being,
nothing,
at
a
least.
little
I
head
thank you
can't
both
fix.
for answering the call.
You were right.
Hundreds of them, apparently. I guess we got the easy
And
fight.
I was wrong. About everything. I had thought that the only way to unite the people was under the banner of Empire. That without a strong hand to guide them, they would drift apart. To be borne hither and yon by the eddying currents of fate. But you brought them together. Not by force, nor by the exercise of goddess-given authority, but by simply being one of them. By knowing what they feel, because you feel it yourself.
Our purpose was ever the same, Your Eminence. You were merely distracted by a loftier vision of
I
empire
single-handedly
and
took
glory,
out these 10 of
while our
these
eyes
big
beheld matters
motherfuckers at
closer
once.
to home.
You have the right of it again. As did you, Sabine. His Radiance said it himself. Sanbreque is naught without her citizens. I forgot that. And I am sorry.
I'm sorry too, Father. I should never have taken things so far. I only wanted you to understand how the people felt.
I'll take this stupid hat off that I just wear just to piss you off.
But my anger got the better of me.
Do not blame yourself, my dear. This was my doing. I should have listened to you. To all of you.
Your Eminence, your ladyship. I do not doubt that you came here with the best of intentions. But I believe the same could be said of us all. We all want safety, security, prosperity. Not just for Northreach, but for the entire realm. And we may yet achieve it. If only we work together. Will you join us in this?
Yes. We shall.
Thank you, Your Eminence. Now that that is settled, I must go and see to the wounded. The Vale's doors are always open
Big
to
hat
any
with a
soldier
tilt
in
with
need
a
of
feather.
relief. And today there are more than ever before.
Madame Isabel is a rare soul indeed. In these dark times, I see that it is not men like me who should lead the realm, but women like her.
You're right. If only I'd listened to her when I had the chance.
Forgive me for saying so, milady, but you still do. The dame said it herself. We can turn things around. We just have to work together. And that goes for you, too. You're one of us now.
One of you.
Well said, Captain. Let this be a new beginning. Not only for Sanbreque, but for us.
Well, since there's nothing more to be done here, I should see if Isabel needs any help moving the wounded.
Quest is actually going. Alright.
Get you anything?
Thought it was going to wrap up here. Okay. If I can fast travel, that means this is the last exchange.
How goes the treatment of the wounded? I'd be happy to man one end of a stretcher if it would help.
You've helped quite enough for one day, Clive. Thank you.
Don't mention it.
Oh, but I must. After all you've done for this town, it is the very least you deserve.
Tell me, if Northreach had fallen, what would you have done? A woman of your means could find a home anywhere in the realm, but I sense you would rather have died here.
It's a long story.
For you, madame, I have all the time in the world.
Very well. Long ago, I had a life in the Crystalline Dominion. I was Carla then, courtesan to the nobility. So sought after was I that it was only they who could afford my time. Alas, those halcyon days were not to last. For naive as I was, I fell in love with a bearer. He was my master's guard, the gentlest man I have ever known. After they discovered us together, he was whipped bloody and forbidden from ever looking at me again. And so we fled. Not that we had anywhere to flee to. We wandered, aimless and starving, half dreading, half praying that the next day would be our last. Until we found ourselves here, in Northreach. It was the Vale that took us in, that fed us, clothed us, and healed our hurts. Those that could be healed, at least. My love was already too far gone.
He passed away.
He did. Not long after we arrived. But at least we were able to share a few moments of peace before the end. It was the greatest gift I have ever received. But the generosity of this town and her people did not end there. The men and women of the Vale supported me through my grief. Shared in it, though I was still a stranger to them. They treated me like a sister. And so I swore that I would always do the same. That I would return the kindness that Northreach showed me. That I would repay my debt to the Vale.
Thank you, Isabel, for sharing this with me.
You're a lot like him, you know.
Oh,
Perhaps that is why I have such a soft spot for you. Never stop fighting, Clive. And I shan't either. I know that it will not be easy to keep Northreach together. But our efforts will be rewarded. Just look at us now. The people, the soldiers, even the Duke of Oriflamme and his daughter, all united in defense of this town that we have come to call our home. And what of you? Can we count on your support too?
Always.
Radoosh. Okay. I think we hit a level, that's nice. Oh, or a Chalcum, that's important. We need that for the weapon. Okay. We'll head back to the hideaway. See if anything nice has been unlocked. There's like 4 or 5 quests just in here. We do have new hunts, which I'll definitely be doing in my spare time. Wondering if we have to unlock them through quests. We'll see what I've got. There's a few. Yeah, I do think it's something like that because they're only A ranks. I think that's something. Let's see what.
How may I help you today, Clive?
Here.
Your benefactors are a generous lot.
Gloves.
You earned this.
Why not?
All done?
Okay, Genji gloves. What do you actually do? I'm actually guessing they're going to be an accessory. They sure are. Ooh, 5% increase to damage dealt, eh? We'll go for it.
Twinside's hundreds of leagues.
So, yeah. I know there's definitely... So we got 1, 2... There was another one in here. 3, 4, and then like another... So, yeah. On the next stream, we've definitely got a handful more of these to do. But even if I don't quite finish them, we will do the final boss. Because, yeah, I've pretty much decided we will do the DLC stuff after the fact as well.
That'd mean the crystal.
So, yeah. If I were getting... If it's getting on too long and it's like, yeah, there's 1 or 2 left, fuck it. But we'll do our best. So yeah, thanks for tuning in this week. Hope to see you next week. Back at it with DBD tomorrow. I'm currently thinking of, well, not thinking of, I'm looking for another game to kind of become a part of the full-time streaming roster, along with DBD. Just another game that I can play consistently to try and get channel growth. Not always in the mood for DBD, especially in the early parts of the year, where you're like going through like all these cool events and then suddenly like nothing cool until like the anniversary. But yeah, nope, thanks guys, have a good night. Yeah, see you next time. Goodbye.